Hari Om. Pranams to all of you. So, are you all settled here? Okay. You may be thinking that where this bald-headed Swami came, where is our Acharya? I remember when we were studying in the university for the post-graduation, at the time when there was one classmate, where two of us were staying in the same room. And there was a holiday for a few days, for 4 or 5 days. So we went to his village. And he's from a very wealthy family, very handsome boy, very handsome. Long hair, and he really takes care of his, everything. Then he went to his village. And when he came, in India, if they marry, they put that, there is a band in that, there will be some grass kind of thing. That means that person is married. He had gone to village. But actually, in his village, somebody was getting married, one girl, but and she is the daughter of his dad's friend. Okay? And she was getting married to somebody else. But that boy didn't come. Can you believe? This boy didn't come. But it is told that if the girl has already prepared to get married, she cannot be taken back home. Already she has come out of the home, she cannot be taken back. That is the psychology. Then who will marry? Now there is nobody. So then the friends, this boy's dad's friend, he came and told to his dad, because he has gone to village to see his parents. And his dad told him, okay, you get married. So, okay, he got married, what to do? He has no idea. He has no idea. So that is the thing that, see, Vivekji has to come. And he couldn't get the flight or something because it is cancelled. So I am here. So don't be surprised that who this person is. It is, I don't know what to tell. Actually, when you are not given any responsibility, you can bluff anything. So no problem. Because we are supposed to be here. So, like sometimes the professor is not there. Some other professor comes. What do you call them? Substitute professors. Then you don't have to know anything. And ask their name and what you have eaten. Time is gone. 45 minutes or 1 hour, that is over. And they're not responsible for anything. Okay. So let us, do you know what is the difference between a human being and animal? If you see like I said, it's a cow and a human being, what is the difference? Or a buffalo and a human being. I'm not taking up the size, okay? Don't tell the size. If you see a buffalo has 3 parts. One is the head, the other is the trunk, and what is after the trunk? 3 parts. All these 3 parts are in one line. That's why they are called tiryank. Tiryank means everything is in one line, tiryank. That means whatever importance they have for the one part of the body, the same importance is for the other part of the body, or for everything. Okay? They don't have any special importance to any part of the body. One is not superior than the other one. But in case of human being, animals, they go like this. How human beings go? They like this. Head is first on the top. Then comes the Madhya Pradesh. Then whatever is below. So now, which is to be given more importance? Which is on the top. That's why God has kept us, that's why we don't work like this. Actually, we would have been occupying less space if we would have been working like this. In the space, I'm telling, not on the ground. But God has made us that way. That means this is to be given all importance. There is a book called Vivek Chudamani, where it is, what are things common between human beings and animals? There is a very nice sloka, many of you may be knowing. It is called Ahara Nidra Bhayamai Thunamcha Samanya Metat Pasubhi Naranam ज्ञान ही विशेष तेषां भी अधिकः ज्ञानेन हीनः पशुभिः समानः. What does it mean? Ahar. Ahar means food. Animals eat food, we also eat food. Animals eat food till they are hungry. After their hunger is over, they will not eat at all. That's why there is no problem in staying in the forest. So many animals they stay, they don't have any food problem. And you will see a cow will die, will never tell that, okay, let me go and eat some meat. Cow will never eat. A tiger will not tell, okay, nowadays there is no deer because all the men, they have killed the human beings, they have killed the deer. So let us start grazing eggplant. They will not eat eggplant or broccoli because they will eat meat only. They will not do anything else. But in case of human beings, we will eat anything, whatever is crawling, whatever is swimming, whatever is flying, whatever is under the earth, whatever is above the earth, everything will eat. So that's why there's so much of problem. But anyhow, animals eat food, human beings eat food. They eat fresh food. A tiger will eat fresh food. Okay, it will kill the animal and it will eat. We will keep we make pickle. 2 years we'll keep that pickle. And nicely it will decompose and that flavor will come. Then only we'll like it. Fresh pickle nobody eats. Okay. Nobody eats. So, but what I'm telling, they eat, we also eat. We cannot tell we eat in the 5-star hotel, that's why we are superior than the tigers. We cannot tell. Or hyenas. We cannot tell. But what if you go to a 5-star hotel, I have not gone, I'm just imagining, okay? They will not keep bright light there at all. Light will be very dim, light will be there. And there is some kind of music will be going. So many distractions. For the ear will be busy in the music and the eyes cannot see properly because light is not proper. So whatever they can give, you have to eat because now you cannot see anything. That's why people pay. You can charge them anything, they will give. Because you can tell, no, I have given you this one. He will tell, no, you have given only one dosa. They can tell, no, 2 dosas you have given because you cannot see. Of course, you can see. I'm not telling that you cannot see. But mind will be so distracted. Somebody will come. They cannot give the water like this. Somebody will do dance, like Bharatanatyam kind of dance, and they will give you. So automatically you are distracted. But animals eat food. We also eat food. Ahara. That's called ahara. Nidra. Nidra means sleep. Animals sleep. We also sleep. We don't get sleep. They can sleep at any time. Have you seen any animals having sleep apnea? They don't have that problem. They can sleep, whether a piece of stone or grass or it is raining, it doesn't matter. They can sleep anywhere. But we need 2 things to get sleep. One is a pill, the other is a pillow. Otherwise you will not get sleep at all. Now, the regular sleeping pills are not working. That's why they put now 3 ingredients. I read somewhere, now they are putting some 3 kinds of ingredients, so that surely one will go to sleep. That means one has to eat poison to go to sleep nowadays. Nidra. So sleep is also common. Animals sleep, we also sleep. Ahara, nidra, bhaya. Bhaya means fear. Do you have fear? We are not afraid of parents. We are afraid of others. We are not afraid of parents. Fearless I am. No, everybody has fear. Exam fear. Fear is there. So animals have fear, but their fear is genuine. Suppose there is a zebra, and the zebra is grazing, and a tiger will chase the zebra will run. But once the zebra stops, once the tiger stops, zebra will also stop. They are staying in the same forest, no security guard, there is no security alarm, there is no campus. The tigers, they have not made their campus or their walls. They stay in the open ground. They are not afraid They are afraid is only when an animal is chasing them, then they run. Otherwise, they don't run. But in case of us, our fear is really imaginary. We can be sitting here. Suppose somebody will tell, Swamiji, I saw a snake entering into this building. Do you think that anybody will sit here, including the speaker? You have seen Durga Mata, isn't it? Goddess Durga, have you seen? Who has seen Goddess Durga ji? Everybody has seen. As long as she is in the form of a stone, it is okay. Suppose she enters through that door, sitting on a lion, and holding all the tridents and the spear and the mace, and that lion will give a roar. Wow! We'll break this window and we'll jump. If she is there, sitting there as a stone, that is okay. But if lively, when you go to the temple, if Goddess Durga is just roaming there or having a walk, I don't think anybody will go to the temple. They'll run for their life. Bhaya. Our bhaya is imaginary. We are afraid. Sitting there inside the building, on the table, what is going to happen to my future? I don't think that I am going to get a boyfriend. I think there is no boyfriend at all. I will going to stay like that only. Fear. Or same thing, I think there is nobody for me. I think I am not going to get married at all. Because everybody is telling, why we are not getting married? As if somebody is sitting on the roadside and you pull somebody and get married. No. Fear. Fear of animals, their fear is genuine, but our fear is imaginary. We can be afraid of anything. Just sitting in the comforts of all luxuries, we can be still afraid. Okay. Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya. These three things are common to human beings and animals. Last one is Maithuna. Maithuna is procreation. They spread their progeny. We also do that one. But they have a control. So far animals they have control. But human beings, they have no control at all. That's why everywhere so many buildings are built. So many colleges, so many hospitals, so many jails. So all those things are to be built because numbers increase so much. Because there is no control. But nature has controlled the animals. But in our case, no. Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya, Maithuna. These four are common to human beings and animals. But then how human beings are superior to animals? The intellect. Jnana hi vishesha. That means the buddhi, the intellect, which makes them unique. That's why we are worshipped. Have you seen anybody is going, suppose a dog is going, Hari Om dog. Is anybody doing? But you and me, somebody will see and they will tell Hari Om. Why? We have failed in the exam. Job, we are laid off from the job. And our all kinds of problems, but still people consider human beings as the superior. That's why they respect us, human beings, because of this intellect. That makes a person superior than all other living beings. So God has given that intellect to all of us. Suppose I have the money, I don't use that money, then what I will be called? Suppose I have money, but I am not using that money at all. Then what everybody will call me? Miser. Same thing. If suppose somebody has the intellect, but that person is not using, then that person is also called a miser. If somebody has got the buddhi, intellect, that person is called buddhivan or buddhiman. If one is not using the buddhi, then that person is called a buddhu. Buddhu. Have you heard? Have you heard Buddha? It is in what language? Your moms must have told 100 times. Buddha, Buddha. Buddha means who is not able to understand anything. Studied, college first class pass, gold medalist, but doesn't understand anything. No common sense. Buddha. So, this buddhi, which God has given, we have to use it. A person who uses the intellect will always be happy, can never be unhappy. That's why it is told, the world is a place of comedy, those who think, and is a place of tragedy, those who don't think. Many of us, we live life based on instincts. We don't use our intellect. Somebody gets angry on us, we also immediately we retaliate. Somebody tells something, we get depressed for 2 months. We are not able to think at all because we have never used that intellect. And this camp is actually going to teach us how to use our intellect. Situations will always be there. Nobody can stop the situations. But if we do not know how to think in a particular situation, then we will be the loser. That is the difference between whom we call as great people or Mahatmas and those who are ordinary people. Those who are just alive, just they eat, sleep, and spend their time. So the intellect is the most important equipment that God has given us. Here it is this intellect. That makes a person Mahatma, and if one is not using the intellect, we call that person as a foolish person, or ignorant person. In Bhagavad Gita, when you go, actually, there a lot of importance is given on the intellect. Everywhere you say buddhi, 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 buddhi. Everywhere, so many times it is used. That means our life should be based upon the intellect. Now, what is the job of the intellect? What we do with the intellect? Can anybody tell how we use the intellect? What is the job? What is the function? What is the function of this microphone? What does it do? Nobody can tell? Oh, this is making louder or that one is making louder? This is just receiving. But magnifying is their amplifier is there. Suppose that is up and here we speak, it will not amplify. So this is amplifying, it has a job. With the hand, what do we do? Nobody can tell with the hand what we do. You have to tell. Tell one or two. Okay. That means we eat, we hold things. That means that rice we first hold. We don't eat with the hand, okay? We eat through the mouth. But we hold the rice with the hand, then take it and put it here. That also many people cannot do. Mom has to feed them. See, the hand has a job. In the same way, the intellect has a job. Why for we use the intellect? To understand. One cannot understand through the body. One cannot understand through the body. One can understand through the intellect. Whenever we are trying to understand something, we are using our intellect. When we are trying to plan something, we are using our intellect. When we are trying to calculate, what is 3 plus 7? Who told 10? Shiva told, huh? Okay. So now do you know what we used at that time? Some children, if you give to children. 8, they will tell. Because somewhere they did some gadbad. And some children, their parents, and they don't like to come to mission. And they think that they are very smart. And they will behave as if they are very smart. Then we ask them questions. Suppose your mom gave you 9 mangoes. Dad gave you 3 mangoes. How many mangoes you have? 12 mangoes. 12. Immediately they will do. Then make it a little complicated. Mom gave you 12 mangoes. Dad gave you half of that. How many mangoes you have? Then they don't know how to tell. Because it requires the intellect to calculate. All calculation, planning, understanding, scheming, deciding are done through the intellect. So intellect is the instrument for these activities. And mind, through mind what we do? Through mind what we do? I hope you are using your mind. Or you lost your mind? Through mind what we do? No, think through the intellect. That's why thinker. Huh? To the intellect we think, we understand, but to the mind we feel. When I tell, I feel hot, that means at that time I didn't use the intellect, I used the mind. Through mind we feel, like when somebody is telling, I feel sad today, I feel glad today, I feel inspired, I feel depressed. At that time, the mind is being used. Okay. And to the body, we do all actions. In the body, there are 5 sense organs are there and 5 organs of knowledge. Through the body, we always act. We act means we receive things from outside, then we work outside. Receive and act outside. To the senses, to the sense organs, we receive. But to the organs of action, we act outside. So to the body, we act. To the intellect, we understand. To the mind, we feel. To the body, we act. Now, it is just like a machine. In a car, there is a body is there, and that the engine is there, and the gas is there. As who is making whom to work? The gas is making the body to move, or the body is making the gas to act? Yes. So the body makes the gas to work, isn't it? Okay. That means, and how many of you agree with that? Okay. So they are the smartest one. Okay. How many of you think that no, the gas makes the body work? If you put gas, then only car will work. How many of you think that way? Only one is there? 2. But actually, if there is no gas, car will not function. Even if that is the Bentley car, don't put any gas. It will not work at all. Actually, gas is making the body work, not the other way. It is not the other way. So gas is very important. So here, the intellect makes the mind work, and mind makes the body work. Thus, this is made that way. But now what is happening? We are not using the intellect at all. Okay? And the body is working depending on instincts or whatever we feel. As a result, all our actions are just mechanical actions. It is not based upon the intellectual understanding. If we have, like what really, why for we have come to this earth? God has created, isn't it? God has created us, and God has created the world in which we live in. Suppose we will not know why we are made, why for we have come to this earth, then our living will never be successful. We'll have a lot of problems. Sometimes we'll be happy, unhappy, 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 one day happy. Then again unhappy, 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 and then one day again we'll be happy. And then we'll tell life is full of, then we'll write books, philosophers, life is full of problems. Then we'll write like that. But it is actually because our intellect is not developed. Intellect, we are born with a mind, but intellect has to be developed. Do you know how intellect will be developed? By having a goal. If you have a goal in life, and that goal is as the God has planned, not in our own way. What we think? Get married? No, not get married. Not fast to get married. Go to college, study, get a job, get married. Parents are happy because they got somebody added to their group. Then whatever is happening, oh mom, nothing is working. Beta, hold on, stick to that. Because they have spent so much of money, they cannot tell that to get out. It looks bad on them. There is a purpose. If God's will and our will, they're one, then surely we'll be successful. And all of us are created on this earth to succeed. Nobody is there to be failure. Okay? So the intellect should have that understanding, that value. Then we'll be successful. So here we'll end. And anyhow, Vivek ji is coming. So any news anybody has got now? No, okay. So we can proceed with the, yes.